Today we're going to be looking at a classic kit, the Variatron. This is the Variatron, and until recently it was sold in shops that sold Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive cars. And a lot of you know that this kit was issued long time ago, and then this is basically the reissue of the kit. And you might be asking, what is the difference between the reissue versus the original one? Well, the reissue does not include the 5-to-1 gear ratio like the original one had. The original one had both 4-to-1 and 5-to-1 gear ratios. This one just has the 4-to-1 gear ratio, probably because not very many people use 5-to-1 gear ratios anymore. So here is the kit, and it's unlike other kits in that it does not include a motor. And there's no sticker on here that says that it does or does not include a motor, even though there were kits back in the olden days that did say things like includes motor or does not include motor. So yeah, this one does not include a motor. You have to purchase this separately, and I think if you see the side panel right here, it does in fact say that this motor here is sold separately. So let's take a look at what's inside. The kit itself, the price was only $10.90, and you will see on the Tamiya website the fact that this kit was sold for, I think, $11.40 or something like that. So it was a little more on their website than what it was sold for in stores. But yeah, this is the Variatron, and I'm going to read for you why this is a significant kit. So in the past, I've made lots of reviews of box stock cars, and I would say things like, I would review them for their performance reasons alone. But I sometimes did not consider the fact that there were groups out there that read the manga or watched the anime of these cars. So yeah, so I'm going to tell you a little bit of history about the Variatron, and we'll go through all of that when we open the box and talk more about it. So let's take a look at what's inside. And yeah, as you see, I have not opened the kit yet, and I'm very excited about what's inside here because I heard that the cowl is a pretty special cowl. I heard that the cowl has a clear component on it, like a little round spherical window, and in that window, underneath it, you could add some electronics so that you can get some LED lights inside the window, or underneath the window, that is. So that's pretty cool, right? That's not something that's a typical thing on a Mini 4-wheel drive kit. So let's take a look. So here, we're unboxing the Variatron. Inside the box, nothing inside the top cover, but inside the bottom, yeah, it's a thinner box, as you see here. And the first thing to note is the fact that there are dish-type wheels. Now, these dish-type wheels, I'm going to read a little bit about them here. So the dish-type wheels are 30mm diameter aero disc wheels offering high performance with minimal wind resistance, as you see here. I believe these are PP plastic, as is usual with Mini 4-wheel drive cars. So yeah, and they're shiny, as you see here. So they're bigger wheels, and as you see the thickness of them, the two front wheels on either end, they're less wide than the rear wheels, as you see. So pretty cool. And then you have these tires right here, and these tires are Avante slick tires. So they're very squishy, right? So they're good for grip, right? But in terms of performance, you might not be able to beat cars that have hard or super hard tires. So this grippy tire is good for certain tracks, but not for others. And so you have here bigger wheels, and that's why they give you this 4-to-1 gear for it. Because if you had a 3.5-to-1 gear running these bigger tires, wheels combination, you'd be running a little bit faster than other cars that did not have big wheels and tires like this. So this is what I call a bonus feature video, and I'm going to show you something really interesting about these slick tires. They're very easy to cut off of the rubber sprue trees. That's true. However, sometimes you have this situation going on where you have this little overlip edge right here, as you see. You can see it right there. You can see that line right there. It's because the rubber on one side, it just protrudes, it sticks out a little bit. So what you need to do is take your side cutters and just start nipping at them so that the entire tire is flat. You want to get rid of that excess rubber, and that way you get a flatter surface for the tires to ride on. You want to be very careful doing that, right? Because you don't want jaggedy edges. You want this to be round all around the tire, and you want it to be as flat as possible. You don't want anything to stick out like that. Remember that these little minute details mean a lot when they're magnified, right? So remember, this is a 1/32 scale. So any little tiny defect is magnified 32 times. And so some of these things are not seeable with the naked eye, but they are felt by the little 1/32 scale Mini 4-wheel drive cars themselves. So yeah, just go around the entire tire and get rid of every little raised lip that you see on the tire. So sometimes it's like very minute and that doesn't matter as much, but the parts of the tire that are like very prominent, you want to snip those with the side cutters. So this looks pretty good. And you want to try to get these little notches right here that are created from the rubber trees, you want to try to get them to be as flat as possible too, so that there's no interference when the car that has these tires is running on the track. And here, stuff for the inside of the chassis, the motor, and the gearbox. Yeah, very cool. And here we have a kit that includes the rollers, the front rollers, and the front rollers, as you see here, they're the type that you can put rubber O-rings around them. Yeah, pretty cool. So this chassis here is a VS chassis, and here is the gear right here, the black gear. That's 4:1 gear ratio, black and brown. So here is the chassis itself, a VS chassis. Yes, I presume it's the older style VS chassis. Yes, it is, and it's got this rear part here that you can attach. Yeah, pretty cool. I think it goes this way. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, there you go. And I think you can even put it the other way as well if you'd like. Yes, making it a high back like that. Yeah, so you have the option of doing that. Very cool. And we have the cowl itself, and the cowl has this clear plastic piece component right here. Let me just take it out of the bag because then you can see it for sure, right? So I usually don't like when I see reviews where they keep everything inside the bags because you can't really get a good clear view of what's inside the bag. So here we go. Here's the cowl. And here there's that round space for the window of the cowl, and that's where you can put the LED lights underneath it. And let me just open this up so you can see the spherical window itself. So very, very cool. So here it is. This is the spherical window, and you would basically place it inside the slot right here. Yeah, very cool. And you get a sticker sheet, which are paper stickers, as you see here. Very cool. And the all-important instruction guide, fold-out leaflet. Not too bad, right? It's just, it's older, like it's an older kit, so you get this leaflet, like the old style. Nowadays you get more like a book than a leaflet. Yeah, so very, very cool. $10.90, you can't go wrong. Just wish that it had a motor in it, right? So, yeah, that's it for there. Let's throw this out, and let's open this up so you can take a look at the parts inside here. Beautiful. Is this ABS plastic? Actually doesn't say. It doesn't say on here. It's actually PS plastic. ABS is superior high-impact plastic ideal for robust, long-lasting applications like Lego, automotive parts, and electronic housings. PS is lighter, brittle, cheaper, and commonly used for disposable packaging, cutlery, and lower-impact models. Here's the chassis on the underside. Yep. On the top side. Yep. And yeah. And where are the, oh, the rubbers are inside the pink bags. Let's open this all up, because I'm going to build this. And I'm going to build this, not in this video, but I'm going to build this, and then we're going to compare it performance-wise to other kits out there. So here I can see this better. Yeah. Black gear. See this better. The rollers. And then in here, in this plastic bag, you see the black O-rings, the rubbers. Yeah, and that's also where the contacts for the batteries are inside there. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool kit. It doesn't seem like there's anything special performance-wise about it, but who knows? With the rubber O-ring rollers in the front, it'll be able to grip the sides of the track a lot better. So, I don't know, it might not course out as easily as other cars out there, right? Like nowadays, we have these super fast, high-performance cars, and they go blindingly fast, and because there's no rubber O-ring rollers, chances of the cars coursing out because they're too speedy are very, very high. So yeah, here we have something that will prevent that from happening. And that's pretty cool. So yes, this is the Variatron. And I would say that if you can purchase this, please do so, because it's like discontinued. Everyone should try to own at least one of every kit if possible. And I know that's like really hard, and who has the money for all that, but this is like a classic kit. And it's nice to know where our hobby comes from, right? Our hobby comes from these classic cars that were introduced in anime series, manga series, and it's just wonderful to be able to see that there was like some reasoning as to why cars were designed the way they were designed. Sometimes it started all as an anime or a manga, and then somebody just decided to design the car based, the actual car, based on the manga or the anime. So it says here, the Variatron was released by Tamiya in July 1999. It is the first mighty mini four-wheel drive car to be equipped with VS chassis. It was featured in the manga Future Racer V-Twin as, what is it? It says Bui V Tendo's machine, upgraded and repaired from the damaged V-Tron in the series. The Variatron features a futuristic mechanical body design. Compare it to the V-Tron, only the body color and the canopy design were changed. It retains most features of the V-Tron, such as the pair of movable wings on the rear and the brain core on the front. The brain core is the clear plastic thing. So I didn't know much about the movable wings. Let's take a look at that again. So it looks like there are some parts that probably clip on to the canopy itself. Yes, so these must be the movable wings right here, and they attach onto here. And then you get something that looks like this right here, where these two things are like almost like little fly wings that go up and down. Yeah, so I don't know. For aerodynamics, it's probably not the greatest thing. So one might want to just omit them if they were racing this in a professional capacity. So yeah, so let's see, what else is there? There is a rear diffuser, which was attached to the center rear hardpoint underneath its VS chassis, a rear diffuser, okay? It was mainly in blue with silver highlights and red and yellow trim on it. So it says it's equipped with the compact lightweight VS chassis, which excels at cornering. And the 30mm diameter aerodisc wheels offer high performance with minimal wind resistance. So yeah, pretty cool. And the chassis frame and A parts are molded in black, and it does not come with a standard motor. So yes, the brain core can be fitted with separately sold LEDs. There you go. So that's the history and technical specifications and such of the Variatron. Pretty darn cool. So everybody, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.